Thank you for purchasing the Brand Builder pack. This is going to be a tutorial on how to use the elements in this pack. So I've gone ahead and opened up Premiere Pro, but you can do this in any program you can edit video and audio in. Once I've opened up the program, I imported all of my clips. When you first open Premiere, this is going to be empty. So in order to import your clips, you just double click anywhere in the project bin, go to where you keep the Brand Builder file, and then start importing all of your clips. Next, you can color code them, like I did, to make it easier to figure out what's what, and you can spend more time being creative than you are searching for a file. To do that, you just right-click on this square, go down to Label, and then choose a color. So, before you start dragging in all the clips, what you're going to want to do is double-check that your audio sample rate matches the project sample rate. What I mean by that is when you drag in your song, what I have down here are some really simple kick and clap loops, timed out at 120 BPM and 150 BPM. As you can see, they're at 48,000 hertz. So if I go to the sequence settings, I double check that my sample rate is 48,000 hertz. Hit OK, and now you can start dragging in your clips. I'm going to drag in the buildings layer, and as you can see, it will sync up to 120 BPM. That's because each of these clips was designed at 120 BPM. So the clips are going to work at 120 BPM regardless. You drag the clip in and sync it up to a kick, to a clap, to some other beat on your song, and it's going to sync. The visuals, the flashing elements, whatever's happening on screen will pulse or do whatever to the beat. But if you want it to sync up to, let's say, 150 BPM, you're going to have to change up the tempo like this. Obviously, that doesn't sync. So to change the speed, you're going to go down here, right-click on the clip, go to Speed Duration, and then you're going to want to plug in the correct speed. Now, we've provided a PDF of instructions of how to sync your visuals based on your BPM. So you go down here, look for your BPM, mine is 150, and then you're going to want to speed up your clip by 125%. And now the clip will sync to 150 BPM. And that'll work for any BPM. Obviously, we provided a chart going up by 5 from 90 to 180. That makes it very easy. Instead of having to do any math, you just plug in these numbers that we've provided for you. But let's say you have a number that isn't on this chart, like 128 BPM, for example. In order to do that, you're going to need to do a little math. Don't worry, it's not much. You do 128, or whatever your BPM is, multiplied by 100, divide that by 120, which gives you 106.66666. Now, when you put that into Premiere, it's going to round up to 106.67, but don't worry. That's a very, very small decimal place. It will still sync. So once you've synced up your clips to your BPM, you're going to notice that these layers all have transparency layers or alpha layers, meaning the backgrounds of all these elements are see-through, meaning you can stack these, add clips behind it, add clips in front of it, mix and match and do whatever you'd like. So what I mean by that is you can say I have a chains layer. I'll drag it up one layer, and then I'll add a text layer beneath it. So now you can see the chains are above the text layer. And if you don't like the chains, you can get rid of the chains. Maybe add the barbed wire layer. It's really up to your creativity and what you want to see. There's 100 elements in here for you to mix and match and choose from and stack these as many high as your program will allow. It may get very busy, it may get crazy, but maybe that's what you're going for. You add the glitch layer on top of the barbed wire, on top of the danger text layer, and then maybe you even throw in an explosion. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So what we've also included in this pack are 10 artwork templates. These are 10 very high quality 4K by 4K album artwork templates that include Photoshop files, PNGs, and even custom fonts. So The custom fonts are something you're going to want to install first, because when you open each of these Photoshop files, you're going to get an error saying that it doesn't have the font. So just double click on these and install them one by one. Once you've done that, you can now open the files and you're not going to get an error, because each of these files has their own style, that has their own custom font, and you're more than welcome to not use these. You can use your own logo, do whatever you want. These are just really good creative jumping off points. So I've gone ahead and opened up the Scope album cover, which when you open each of these files includes the album cover preview, the Photoshop file, and then just a very high quality PNG for you to do whatever you want with just the artwork. So in the Photoshop file, you're going to see that the text section is highlighted, making it very easy and very obvious what you need to change the album name and to change the artist name really quickly. I'm assuming your name isn't artist, and I'm assuming your album name isn't going to be called album name. So to change that, just hit T and double click on your text and change it to whatever you'd like. And just like that, you have an album cover ready to go.